him to the storm castle and everyone dismisses. 6 years later, there's a huge storm at the castle. Jin is trying to get to a book on a shelf but couldn't reach it. He thinks that it's been 6 years and according to the rules of the house he has to stay in the castle for 10 years. A maid walks into his room and is shocked to find a dead bird lying there. His 2 older brothers Daytona Runcandel and Haytona Runcandel come out and say to her that it's unfortunate she found it and that it was meant for Jin. He sees the dead bird and thinks how are they just 9 years old when they are literally murderers, and just to bother him they killed a bird. They continue to tease Jin and say to him that if he's gonna cry to see a dead bird and he shouldn't since it's ugly. Haytona then moves forward and tries to punch him but he stops it with his spiritual power and says that he has been holding back just because they are his brothers. He then punches him and continues to beats both of them until they fall to the ground. Hearing the ruckus, their guardian knight, Khan, comes in and asks what's wrong. Jin replies that they fought each other and both fell on the ground but Khan sensed his spiritual energy. Khan then proceeds to take both of them to the hospital but Jin stops him and says they need to be taught a lesson as he buries the bird and leaves both of them under the heavy storm. Khan thinks that he should report about the spiritual energy to the king since it's forbidden in the Runcandel clan. He asks for a horse and goes on towards the king's palace. Jin sees this and thinks that thanks to the contract with Solderit he was able to use his powers and his immunity from curses in this life also. Khan reaches the palace and tells the king about all of this. The king is worried and intrigued after hearing about this. He asks the knights to get ready as they will be going to visit the youngest son. 7 of the Runcandel knights and 200 knights under them get ready as they set out to visit the young